Hello, Midwestern movie reviewer here with another movie review. I recently saw a movie called The Fire Inside in theaters. This was actually released as a mystery movie quite a while back, and I missed that showing, but a friend of mine recommended it. So I thought, hey, I'm gonna have to go back and catch that one. And I'm so glad that I did. It was really good. So, what is The Fire Inside about? This is actually based on a true story. So, it's a biopic, and you know how much I love those. This is based on the life of Claressa Shields, a female boxer who won the gold medal back in 2012 Olympics. I was not familiar with her. I don't follow female boxing. I don't follow boxing at all, but you hear about like a Manny Pacquiao somebody every once in a while, and you're like, okay. You hear about who's the other guy that was real big that bit the person's ear off, and they got in the ring with an influencer recently. It was Mike Tyson and Logan Paul or something like that. I'm not a fan of boxing, even though the trailer for this looked interesting. It was not something where I was like, oh, I'm going to rush out and see this. But I love a moving story. I love an underdog story. So I was somewhat interested.
There was a girl named Claressa came into the gym tonight. What you think about girls boxing?
Don't see no reason why she can't. She got hands.
Hey, mama.
Talk to you, man.
Going to bed. I got training in the morning.
When you win that prize money, we get our own place. Just us.
You're a gold medal since 2004.
Yeah, well, none of them boxers was Claressa, was it? So you on a path, and everything you see out there is just one more thing to get in your way.
Oh, what you doing?
You think I don't know about what it's like to be 16, hormones all everywhere?
Don't nobody want to hear about y'all nasty hormones.
Oh, you don't? Well, I'm gonna tell
Nah.
you, though.
When you gonna rip the Nike?
Soon, bruh. It just ain't what I thought it would be. All these people getting these endorsements. Meanwhile, I can barely pay my mama rent.
Maybe it just take more time. I would love to represent Claressa. It's just much harder with women athletes.
It's not fair, but people expect female athletes to behave a certain way.
You can see the drive in that this is a very emotional story. That's one of the things I loved. The actress who played Claressa Shields, her name is Ryan Destiny. She was fantastic. She did such a moving portrayal of this character. I cried a few times in the theater because the situation that the real life person Claressa Shields came from was just the humblest of beginnings. So she was very poor, at times hungry, and did not have a good role model for life. And to see what she made of herself, so inspirational, so moving. So if that's the type of film that you enjoy, you'd love this. This was very well done. At first I thought it was directed by Barry Jenkins, who directed the Mufasa the Lion King story. But actually it was written by him. So the director of this was Rachel Morrison. She did a great job. The direction, you could tell that the director was able to get the emotions and get the actors to emote so well and to show the drive and everything it took to get this done. Fantastic. Very well done. At the end of this review, I'll share some golden nuggets with you like I usually do. So the things that I did love, yes, I love a biopic. I love the acting of this young girl, Ryan Destiny, because the character that she's playing was supposed to have started training as a child and, overcoming the stereotypes of women shouldn't be boxing. Boxing is a sport only for men. And having that drive within her to do this, and her coach noticing that. So that was so interesting. And in the time that we're living in now, it's those stereotypes are getting broken down. Women are getting equal pay for things and are being considered as experts in their sports. So we're still in a transition period, but it's from this movie, you get that that's the message that people need to be allowed to do things that are unconventional, that may not be something that's thought of as a woman thing or a man thing or whatever. If they have that skill and that drive and that dream, we should let them do it and not give them a hard time about it. That's what I got out of this. And you can see that she was made for this sport, her performance, the way that she depicted this real life person, Claressa Shields, was beautiful. It was wonderful. At the end, of course, I loved I had this as a private showing. I went early on a Sunday morning, had the entire theater to myself. So I was able to cheer and laugh as much as I wanted to. Not really laugh, but cheer and yell and applaud. Applaud as much as I wanted to. So I think that the friend that told me about this in the theater that he went to, they applauded and they cried and they did everything. I would have loved to have done that with an audience, but I also love a whole theater by myself where I can just spread out. If I want to check something on my phone, I can without anybody getting irritated. I can just really enjoy it like if I was at home watching it, but having a huge screen and the whole, sound system to myself. It was awesome. Oh, I love Brian Tyree Henry's performance. I saw Tyree Henry in Bullet Train. I saw him also in Godzilla times King Kong. And he usually does somewhat of a comic relief type character. I loved him in a dramatic role for this. You can see how much the real coach put into Claressa Shields' career, that he was so invested in her and believed in her. And didn't get paid to coach her. So it was amazing. And just his portrayal, he can do anything. Comedy, drama, whatever other, he probably could do a romantic role. I'd like to see him in that next. So Brian Tyree Henry, great job. Ryan Destiny played the main actress. She has also been in Grownish and that TV series Star about a musical group. So she can probably sing too. I only saw a few episodes of that, so I don't really remember her in that role. But she's got to be extremely talented to be able to do dramatic roles and sing. Probably dance too. I need to check out Star. Okay, so here's my golden nuggets for this film. Now, we know already that a lot of these films that have come through with COVID and the SAG-AFTRA strike have been delayed, but this one was extremely delayed. This movie was supposed to come out or started development in 2016. So here we are 8 years later, like at the end of 2024 when it finally came out. So I'll describe a little bit about what happened to delay this film. So this was Rachel Morrison's directorial debut. So she has a lot of experience with dramatic roles or dramatic movies and did a fantastic job with this. As her directorial debut, she directed this fantastically. It was so dramatic and moving, and I can't wait to see more things by her. Babies, quiet. Okay. So this was about the 2012 Olympics. Like I said, I was not familiar with that. That was the Olympics that Michael Phelps got a gold medal for swimming. I remember that, but I do not remember the boxing. But let me tell you, I wish I had because I bet it was so moving. Because when she did win the gold medal, I cried in the audience. It was beautiful. Some of the different casting changes they had. The coach that was played by Brian Tyree Henry was supposed to have been played by Ice Cube. But what happened was COVID hit, and we know how vaccination that Ice Cube was. So he was not able to perform this role in the film. So they got rid of him and they hired Henry. The COVID also ended up delaying production of this. During that period, at first it had been picked up by Universal. Universal dropped them, and it was picked up by Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer as a production company. That, of course, caused some delays when they didn't have a producer. So finally, this movie ended up being released December 25th of 2024. And it has done pretty well at the box office, not as well as it should. But hopefully with word of mouth, maybe more people will go see this movie. But the critical acclaim is there. It's fantastic. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars, only because the score and the soundtrack wasn't very noticeable. For me to give a 5, I want it to have everything. Cinematography, score, soundtrack, fabulous acting, great direction, just production value, everything. And I felt like the soundtrack wasn't memorable. And the cinematography was good, but it wasn't anything spectacular that made me notice, oh, look at how they're framing this and that. It was just good. It was adequate. So for story and acting and direction, I give it 4 stars. So if you get a chance to see this in theaters, definitely do it. If not, definitely stream it later because it is a fantastic movie. Great message of women doing amazing things, having such drive, trying to get other people, trying to, get the whole community of women to get paid equal pay and for people to do unconventional things in their life without criticism. That's the message of this movie. And I'm like, yes, I love that. So go see The Fire Inside in theaters. Midwestern Movie Reviewer out.